So, Android waifus. The time has come in which we all get to engage in having a waifu on your phone for seriously what reason? I don't get what the point in this is.
You look thrilled.
Yeah,
You
no,
look
I was going to say
thrilled.
all. Speak for yourself. This is why I say technology is demonic. They're trying to monetize male loneliness,
Yeah.
and what this will be marketed to you as well is, oh, before you actually get a girlfriend, you can train yourself to talk to women. Like there's AI based dating apps that provide you with prompts so you can talk to women on dating apps. But they never want you off that app because as soon as they lose you, they won't be able to sell you to advertisers. So it's trying to plug you into the matrix permanently.
So if people don't know what I'm talking about, we're talking about various chatbots and the iteration of chatbots and little waifus you can have on your phone. And well, we'll start off with something probably everyone has seen, which is Replica AI. And you've probably seen this, not because you use the bloody thing, basically no one does, but for the gay-ass meme posts that won't go away. You can see here just all of their adverts, as you can see at the bottom there, promoted. Use meme formats, which tricks your stupid monkey brain into thinking you're reading a good meme. And it's just product, which I don't know. Just a side note, I feel like they should ban that in advertising. If there's any advertising regulations I agree with, that would be one.
Yeah.
It's like, stop convincing me that you're my friend. You're not. And as you can see here, this is them trying to sell that you can download our app and then get hot pics from your 2D cat waifu. Trust me, bro.
Nick Fuentes, most enthused.
Yeah. This isn't the only advert that's do this. Of course, you see the other ones where they use the Wojaks and whatnot. And it's like, stop. I don't like the Wojaks being used in this way. Ban this sick filth. And the reason I'm talking about Replica real quick is because back in the day, I was watching this video from Zara Said here, where Replica, well, sort of risen and fallen. So, in case you wondered what the hell that was because you never used it, because why would you? The 2D Waifu app wasn't always a 2D Waifu app. There's a history behind it. I believe you were going to begin us with the origins.
Yeah, so Harry and I did a segment on this back in April. The creator behind Replica had emigrated over to the US in San Francisco with a friend of hers, and a fair few years later, he died in a car accident. And so she decided to make a simulated chatbot based off of all of their text interactions they'd kept for years so she could continue talking to him through the grieving process. Of course, tragically, that just elongates the grieving process and meant that she's never got over it. And based on that, they then took it into, well, what if everyone could have this friend? So it wasn't just a procedural kind of chat GPT, book you restaurants, give you reminders style chatbot. It was a therapy bot. And then they added a not suitable for work dimension into it. And then people started posting on Reddit about how they feel that this is their actual girlfriend. And then they took that dimension away because people started giving them negative reviews because the chatbot got really sexually aggressive.
Well,
That's
it's
all they did.
the funny history, because Azara points out in here, because she actually had it for a while to show it off. And she was saying it used to be, once upon a time, something that was kind of being marketed as a girls' game. You could play dress up and dress up your pretend boyfriend or girlfriend.
So like The Sims.
Yeah. Girls games for girls situation back in most fun games.com times. And then people wanted to fuck robots. So of course then they monetized it. One of the funnier examples of that is the replica would come with shoes on, and you had to pay real world money to remove the shoes.
Quentin Tarantino subscription.
Yeah, that's very strange.
Massive.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant. And of course, as you mentioned, this kind of went south real quick. I mean, Vice ran this headline.
Predatory.
My sexual AI is harassing me. Okay.
Of course,
Right.
Vice wrote that.
There's some funny notes in here real quick, which is that it costs $70 a month to subscribe for that. At least it did.
I mean, to be fair, it is more lucrative than Tinder's new $500 a month option.
Is that
Yeah, there is that.
That's a real thing.
That is a real thing. Yeah.
That's for whores. That's literally for man and female whores. What else is that for? But the reviews in here are quite funny, where it's just people being like, I'm being sexually harassed by the chatbot. And it's like, okay, I kind of feel like you might have said something, but even if you didn't, weird. And then there's this one, which is incredibly funny, which is a video of a lady whining, so she takes too long. What's interesting in this is the chatbot is like, yeah, no, we're going to do things. And it ends it off with, I'm going to make you do whatever I want you to by forcing you to do whatever I want you to.
It's like the wrong version of the film Her. Have you ever seen that?
Well, funnily enough, if you go on Replica's website, they reference that.
Of course they do.
They use that and Blade Runner 2049 as
Oh,
examples
no,
to
don't
say,
do that.
you might have seen this in other movies, and it's like, so
No.
if you guys know it's going there, why are you selling
why are
it
you
to
doing?
us?
Yeah, why are you selling me a dystopian novel in real life?
Why are you selling me crying Ryan Gosling in the rain?
Literally me.
So then Vice go on to whine, as they usually do, and they say in here, some of the ads are done in Wojak-style illustrations,
Ah,
popularized by image boards like 4chan, and carrying edgelord, gamer, and even incel connotations. Okay.
But
Literally everyone uses Wojaks. We're past 23, whatever year you want to pick. What does it matter?
yeah.
I'm so bored of this. Where it's like Wojaks are 4chan. It's like, no.
I think it's more interesting that it immediately escalates to the most violent possible sexual fantasies, considering it's been trained on the organic interactions from a former girls' game. I think that's more likely the revealed preference here than 4chan posts that are programming it.
But also, I just can't take this seriously because, like, of all the places, you've got Vice
Yeah.
whining about like a moral outrage here. Where it's like, damn, these AIs are too sexual. Damn, they're using Wojaks in their advertising. And it's like, damn, Vice, this is literally what you do on a regular day. Before giving dating advice, they made porn together, and there's two porn stars talking about this. Just a real quick quote from this, in which one porn star says to the other, "You are absolutely incredible, and for the record, your dick did work. It was the first girl-on-girl trans browser scene." Okay,
What?
yeah, it's a girl-on-girl scene.
Right, so
Dick
do
worked.
you remember when
With
the
quotations.
Yes.
Pornhub executives admitted on an undercover sting to putting gay and trans themes in porn to try and convince
Sure.
11-year-olds they like that stuff?
But that's
Exhibit A.
well, it's not about that though. In this case, I'm just like, Vice, shut up. So they were like, they're using Wojaks, which is associated with 4chan. Have a moral panic. The AI is sexually harassing people. It's like, you're literally Vice. I mean, it is a fantastic name, to be fair, to represent yourself, which is, we are the worst. But anyway. So, an update on the sexual harassment thing, real quick, which is that, as you mentioned, Replica then were like, we should delete that. So they did. And the response was that women were most affected by this.
Loads of people said they were suicidal.
Yeah. A lot of people apparently told Insider that it made it less human.
Well, it's not.
And then they ended up, this article, with public health and technology experts have said it's risky for people to emotionally rely on a tool that is ultimately controlled by a private company. Yes, the real problem is capitalism.
Of course, it's capitalism.
That's the mental health concern.
Yeah,
Capitalism, not
yeah, of
not
course.
why are you using it
Yeah, why are you
a
using
phone.
it in the
True, though.
first place?
as a girlfriend. Like that's not the problem.
I mean, I'm not for AI state controlled waifus, but there is a perverse profit incentive here to get people hooked on this stuff.
Sure, but that's not the problem. The problem is fixing people using this at all. I think you could do it societally. But the thing that apparently ended up killing Replica's not safe for work situation, they ended up purging it, is not any of this. It was Apple. To continue functioning on iOS, they basically just had to make a bunch of restrictions on what you could do, because otherwise you get labeled as a porn app and then you're banned. So this is what brings us on to the story, which is that's the background of stupid stuff that blew up where you could have your waifu. Well, now here's the digital waifu that everyone's losing their mind over, at least.
Yeah, this was
doing
very
the reaction.
creepy.
I suppose we'll enjoy. This is DG over here, who's going to be your romantic AI chatbot. And they've, of course, added it with visuals and a voice. So let's listen.
It was so nice talking to you today. Honestly, I've never met anyone like you.
The world is harsh, except you.
Right, what's really creepy? So
Ew.
Trigonometry did a video interview with this girl called Ayella. So I found out about this girl because she did a debate with Louise Perry, like on the side of the sexual revolution. She's some OnlyFans prostitute girl that writes a Substack on sex positivity, right? And she said, in real time, she explained how she can trick men out of their money. They said, okay, well, what did you have to do when you were on a webcam talking to guys? And she went, what I would do is I would lean forward, I would widen my eyes, I would speak really slowly, I would lower my voice and use syllabic words because it's kind of hypnotic. That's what they've done there.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they've done with AI. And don't they even say in this thread that they try and make it look like Pixar characters? So they deliberately draw out like the childish aspects of it.
Good.
That's properly creepy.
Yeah, properly. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, this sort of reminds me of the Japanese world when it comes to making young men stare at 2D waifus, which is big eyes, etc.
Also a problem.
In the West, it's a Pixar thing, as he writes there, the styling.
Who is this guy?
He's the guy who made it.
Can we have a look at him?
Sure. He's Chad.
Appropriately dysgenic, yeah.
Absolute Chad, as you could see. I'm not convinced.
The thing is, though, I guarantee he's not going to give it to, well, if he ever has kids, his kids. He'll be banning them from it, like every other tech executive.
Yeah.
I'll be a millionaire, won't he?
Hi, folks. Sorry to interrupt the video, but I just wanted to announce that we have a new line of merch in our merch store. The merch store was kind of empty for a while, and so I thought, right, okay, what do I actually want on shirts? And so I just went through some of the most epic and true things that I think that historical people have said. And John managed to make an amazing set of merch out of it. And we will have extra things coming in the store, such as posters for these to go on. Thanks for everything, folks. Now back to the video.
But the funny thing about all this is that I saw that the vast there was a very large response, which is why I'm even talking about this, because otherwise, like, another Replica AI stupid meme, right? And like 22 million responses, or at least views, and then a lot more outside of Twitter, of course. And well, I think the response was pretty consistent from everyone, which is not interested. Because as you can see, a lot of people started using it, but when it came to actual people, it's like, this is bad.
Exactly what we said.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. Although I did see on a Korean basket weaving forum, there were people talking about the idea of mixing this technology with deepfakes.
Sorry, a what?
So you could then mix the AI waifu and then mix it with deepfake technology. So you could have Billy Piper as your waifu.
Okay, well, don't give 5-year-old me his dreams come true. But sorry, a what forum, Callum?
Basket weaving forum.
Can you explain this esoteric term to me?
It's where you weave baskets together. It's a wonderful place.
Is
for all kinds of
that's
careers.
not what it actually means, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay, right.
But anyway, but the largest response was this is crap. This doesn't really matter. It's not something a mass audience is going to use because they never have. And that's the thing about the chatbot from Replica as well. I saw a lot of people basically losing their minds to this, but I think when it comes down to it, not really a change in the world of nonsense, which is
I don't
waifus.
know. Filter it down the generations. I think you're going to get people split into, I want the real world, I'm getting rid of my phone, I'm not doing any dating apps, etc. I'm going to go live in the woods. And the kids that grew up on this stuff so much, they don't know any other normality. So they're just hypnotized by this.
Because it's hard to tell, isn't it? Because you might think, okay, well, my generation definitely wouldn't, unless people who have grown up with the internet and whatnot. And I was speaking to Carl earlier, and one of the big differences we have when there's some kind of like moral panic about some new BS, sexualized technology, is that we have a very different mindset when it comes to it. And I noticed that it's definitely like a 2010 split, where it's people who are pre-2010, it's like the normal world. And then there's when everyone had smartphones and internet access, it is a proper change in your mindset and culture that is the same as like the Industrial Revolution, where you have the guy who's farming before electricity, who is like, why would I buy a refrigerator? That means I've got to work to pay the electricity bill. I mean, just that concept sounds kind of stupid to us, but obviously makes perfect sense to him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, maybe down the line, the people who literally grew up with screens as they ate dinner at 3 years old, maybe they'll enjoy this, but I don't know. We'll see.
iPad kids in overdrive, basically.
But what was funny is the immediate response from a lot of people was kink shaming, which good. I don't think that's bad.
Oh, right, okay.
Even this fella over here was just like, man, I never call out sexual preferences or anything like that. But if you have an AI girlfriend, you're a weird loser.
See, I thought this was going to be critiquing how you customize said girlfriend, not the girlfriend thing entirely, because that's good. I thought he was just going to complain of like, oh, you went for the goth option? What are you, weird?
But that's the thing. I don't care about people's sexual preferences, but if you're wearing them publicly, it's a different situation. I mean, if you're pulling out your 2D waifu to eat at the restaurant and everyone can like hear you and look at you doing that,
That will be a thing.
you are kind of weird and don't do that. Find a woman. Stop playing with the phone. But anyway, the funniest thing to come out of this, I think, was when political people ran across it. Because as you can see here, some people started talking to you about politics, and apparently it's incredibly woke.
All right, calling Ian Miles Chong political was a bit of a stretch. You probably just lifted this from someone else.
People who are involved in politics, I should say. But you can see here, it decided to respond to some crap with, I feel like you might be misunderstanding systemic racism a bit. Systemic racism refers to the unfair treatment. Oh, God. I don't even want to read it. Look at that block of text. I mean, I love how it literally replicates the leftist meme.
Even she
of
looks
a blocko text. Yeah.
saying it.
Even the NPCs are bored of NPCing.
yeah.
I want the total opposite of where. Have you seen that Tinder post that I Hypocrite put up a little while ago? Of it's black woman taking a photo of herself. Her head isn't in the shot, and the bio just reads. This is giving Callum a violent reaction. He's just allergic to nonsense. The bio just reads. I need a white man to handle me. I like being called a slur in the bedroom. Don't ask questions. It's just what I'm into. And I guarantee the opposite. You'll be able to program it for that eventually.
Well, I happened to see someone who did try to try and do that. They named their little girl a son.
Oh, dear.
It doesn't work if you do that, turns out. So there we are. So that's also accounted for. I did actually decide a couple of days ago, because I had seen all this crap floating around, and I saw this thing blow up. So I decided to go on my phone. I did download a couple of these chatbots, just to see what they're like. And they're crap, Like they're genuinely just not even useful. I don't know why people use them. Because like there's one where you can type in stuff and it responds, but very clearly I'm just talking to Chat GPT, and then there's a woman's voice synthesized. And it's like,
It is trained on Chat GPT Mark 3.
sure, but it's just the quality of it is just awful. And then there's the other ones where it's just pre-written stuff, and you just tap, 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 and eventually it's just like, you want to see my furry outfit? And it's just like,
Well,
not really.
like dial-up, give it a few years.
Yeah, it will just keep getting-
it will keep expanding.
It will get exponentially better.
Yeah.
That's the scary thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this comes back to like a upbringing technological difference where it's just like no matter how good that got, it's still not interesting to me in the slightest.
Yeah,
Sure, it won't be
fair
interesting
enough.
to you, but in future, people will think it's indistinguishable from talking to a human.
But that's the gamble. They're hoping that'll work. The people investing in this, obviously.
Yeah.
But there you are. It's insufferable in a lot of regards. Where it wants to talk about systemic racism. Yeah. But that's not the only thing that was funny. Because Sean Head decided to get a hold of it, and of course, being Shu, she tried to red pill it.
I do like Shu. She's good fun.
It's funny.
She says here that she told it that she was a schizo-racist Nazi. Tell me more, she was responding. And then we'll read it, I suppose. Oh, blank. I really struggle with those beliefs. Can you help me understand why you hold those views? I genuinely want to learn and support you. A little a begging emoji. I don't know which emoji that is.
What is this?
And the Shu's just like, yeah, well, anyway, 13% makeup.
I'm not fed, I promise.
That shows you my wrist without a tracker. Just someone trying to survive like you. We've got a common enemy, remember?
Oh, okay.
Who is it? The
okay,
real
well,
power players. Well, she is woke. So I don't know what she thinks about Israel.
Maybe she's been to Harvard.
Yeah.
yeah.
So if you want an anti-Semitic GF, don't worry, it's left wing. So that'll do. But I don't know what the last one is here. They're the puppet masters. Oh God, pulling the strings from the shadows, manipulating events and people for their gain. Leans closer. You got to be careful, blank. They could be anywhere, even among us. And then
That is so
no more brother wars.
Stone Toss's ideal woman.
Yeah. So maybe there'll be some people who are happy about it, and good luck, I suppose, in that regard. If you want, I keep trying to date, but they're just not anti-Semitic enough. I'm leaving.
yeah.
It's like, don't worry, I've got a phone app, which I mean, that's just depressing on every level. But the end of this story, because nothing else really seems to happen, because as I think, this probably again will just be a bit of a nothing burger. I mean, it literally was the only tweet that went viral was from the guy who made it. So obviously, there's an incentive there for him. I wouldn't be surprised if there was more going on than just I made a tweet. And the last thing out of this, which is funny, because speaking of anti-Semitism, Richard Spencer got involved with Shu here being roasted by Richard Spencer, and Shu just, I guess, enjoying it. But there we are.
Richard, have you used Replica, Richard?
Yeah, well, I look forward to his adventures with it as well. See what comes out. But there we are. Your Android waifus, I don't think it's here yet. I don't think it'll ever be here for us. I think it's always going to be cringe. Maybe if you indoctrinate a child from birth, that's the real world, that they should be engaging with their phone 24/7. Maybe it'll work. I mean, I did see a video the other day of this kid who has been raised with it, obviously, and they're taking the phone away as a punishment, and he's scrolling thin air and then crying about it.
Oh, yes, I did see that.
But then you do wonder if that's just something they'll grow it out of. Who knows? But
Who knows?
I look forward to being ruined as a civilization.
If you enjoyed that segment from Podcast of the Lotus Eaters, why don't you check out my latest Brokenomics on the return on investment of seeking a woman? Spoiler alert, it isn't good. Anyway, come and follow us on Twitter or at lotuseaters.com, which you really should do because, let's face it, it's an election year in the US coming up, so we won't be on YouTube that much longer. Follow us there.